I had to give a double intro. I didn't know what to say. It's a tricky one. It's a tough Reds. Everton, Liverpool, a another performance where we get all fine. It's a tough one, but we'll go through it. We're going to talk player ratings. We're going to talk matches. We're going to talk tactics. We're going to talk about what the future holds for Liverpool FC. But again, it's another 2 points dropped. But this is Kloppzone. This is Match Rater. And this is the intro. Let's go. Well. Before we begin, as always, let me shout out the people who are in the comments. Hate our tactics, says MH, Course Andy. What are we doing? Matt Matthews, big up. Ellis, isn't happy. Latif, regardless of who's starting, we always start slow. You're behind. The graphic again. Darwin Núñez, touch is so weak. That gets him in difficult situations. It's a tough one this week. Let me flip me round, sorry. People saying I'm behind the graphic again. I don't know why. Let me flip the camera around for you people. Is that better? Let me know if that's better for everyone. Give me a thumbs up if it's better. Thumbs up if it's better in the comments. James the Grain saying, I can't see you. Wants to see me, bro. Y'all want to see me? You want to see me? Is that better, people? Type it up in the comments. Let me know if you can see now. If that's better, we flip the camera. Let me know. No, not better. I don't know why it always does this on this show. Every single time. I'm going to have to change it. Good to go? Are we good to go? Still behind? Still behind? People saying I'm behind. You're behind. Matt Matthews giving me a thumbs up, though. Still behind. Do you know what I'm going to do? Take the overlay off. Let's get into some real talk. Let's get into some real talk then. Let me take this overlay off. Take the banner off. Boom. There you go. Y'all can see me now. Y'all can see me now. Where do we begin today, people? Where do we begin today? It's getting deflated now. I was so excited before the game. I was on a high. Great lineup. Great lineup. Really excited about what could potentially happen in today's game. Seeing Carvalho, Elliott in the starting lineup. I thought we were going to see an attacking performance. I thought we were going to pick up nice spaces. I thought that Tsimikas was going to get forward and be crucial in those clinical areas. I thought that Núñez was going to be chomping at the bit to prove a point. But we just saw the same old Liverpool that we've been seeing all season. Is it down to tactics? Is it down to personnel? Are we good enough? Do we have good enough players? These are the questions that we need to start asking now, because it's worrying. It worried me, that performance today, that there was a big change in personnel, but no change in performance levels. Kev Kahuri saying, no, it's not going to change. Ellis is fed up. Saying it's a bit better. Bobby has to start over Núñez, says James the Brain. Start off with our tactics, please. I'm going to start off with the tactics. Don't forget, people, please hit the like button. hit subscribe, please, because we're going to be bringing so many on his shows around here in the building. Núñez can't play good instantly. He needs time. Just happy Jota is back. He does need time, but at the same time, you're 65 million, bro. You should be able to come in and finish some of those chances. I'm sorry, that back post header should be on target. That where you hit your own boots with a shot. No 65 million pound striker should be hitting his own boots with a shot. He just shouldn't be. But I get what you're saying. Maybe he does need time. Now we're going to be in huge behind of City and Arsenal. Klopp got it wrong, says Ellis. Sean, Doc, hi guys. First of all, Everton FC don't put out a statement against their fans vandalising the murals commissioned over the food banks. It's a disgrace. They remain silent /year. Shocking, mate. Those murals at the beginning of the game, it's disgusting. Now, I don't know if it's confirmed it's Everton fans. We don't know that. I don't know that. It might have been confirmed. But it's just disgusting. It overshadows the game again. But the game itself was not up to standard. Is Núñez really that good? Saying Bogdan. Let's break the game down anyway, because we're going to give player ratings. We're going to go from number 1 all the way through to all the substitutes that we used. So we're going to break ratings down. But first of all, let's talk about the starting 11. When you saw that starting 11, people, I want to know what you thought, because I saw the starting 11 today, and it excited me. It showed that, right, Klopp's listened. He's going to make changes. We're seeing the team that we want to see as fans. Nobody can deny that. That's what fans have been asking for. They've been asking for Carvalho to start. They've been asking for Núñez to see what Núñez can do. We've asked for Tsimikas because Robbo needed a rest. But then the game started. We did the same as we always do, have a nice, sharp 10 minutes, and then we start sinking back. We don't get a goal. We start sinking back into our old ways. We start conceding chances. We switch off in areas. We're not clinical. Our passing slows down. It's not sharp enough. Everton today, a fact, Everton today were hungrier than us, quicker than us, first to every ball, and more passionate. The fans may have played a part in that, but that's a fact. Their midfield was first to every ball. Gordon was on Trent's case every single touch. We did not look that hungry against their players when they were trying to play football. It was worrying today. But let's have a look what the comments are saying before we jump into all the ratings. Still not convinced of Joey G at centre-back. Look, I thought Joe Gomez, potentially man of the match, so I'm not with that one. James De Bruyne, I was buzzing. The starting 11, that's it. We were buzzing. I loved the starting 11, says MH Corsandi. Salah in the last 6 minutes was perfect. He was like this all match. I thought we must win. Where was Salah? He came alive for 5 minutes at the end of the game. Like, Salah, you've got to start stepping up, bro. You're taking home a fat paycheck now, so give us some fat performances. Because today you went missing. Like, there's nothing else to say. You went missing. Honestly, with Carvalho, Elliott, and Fab, I thought they would make more progressive runs. But Carvalho lacked confidence. It was a shame with Carvalho because there was little glimpses and touches and sharpness. But obviously going off at half-time, couldn't go into the game. It was around about 35 minutes when he got injured. It wasn't the performance we all wanted, I suppose. Elliott and Fabio, I was excited, but Fabio had a dreadful game. I've got to admit, we've got to be honest with ourselves, and it's not nice to say this about these players, but if they want to be Liverpool football players and play at the best team in the world, they've got to be open to criticism if they don't play well. Diaz didn't have the greatest of first half. Salah was a ghost for most of the game. Look, Casper, whatever you want to call him. Ooh. Mo, where were you, bro? You went missing. Man. Ghost performance. We need you to step up. Maybe players need to get the ball into him more, but we need you to step up, Casper, bro. Come on. We're not fast, accurate, and we're not unpredictable enough. Paul Donnelly says, yes, Donna's in the building. So true. We're not fast. We're not accurate. We're not unpredictable anymore. Gone are the days where we were the red arrows, where we go, everybody darting all over everywhere. Now you know what's going to happen. Mo's going to try and come central. His left back's just going to stick with him. Diaz tries to drift out to the wing. The centre back's going to follow him. Elliott's going to try and come short. The defensive mid's going to pick him up. Diaz comes into the middle. The right centre back picks him up easy. Like, our runs are so predictable. Our patterns of play are so predictable. Pass it to the centre backs to the right, switch play to the left. Not on, switch play to the right. Pass it to the middle and pass it back. It's like insomnia, bro. It's like torture, man. When you're watching, you're like, please, speed the ball up, man. Come on. We need to learn how to break them down, not go wide for crosses. Do you know what worried me more than anything, right? Before we get to the ratings, what worried me more than anything today is that we just played against a different setup in Everton. Everton set up 4-3-3. Normally, teams lesser than us set up in a 3 at the back or 5 at the back, whatever you want to say. Today, we played against a 4-3-3, and we still couldn't break them down. So we can't break down a 3 at the back, can't break down a 5 at the back, can't break down 4 at the back. Yes, Pickford had a world-class game, if anybody wants to say. Yes, Pickford was amazing today. But I'm sorry, there were so many chances we should be finishing in that game. Salah hits the post. We should be finishing that. Diaz has a post magnet to him. I don't know what's happening, but Diaz should be finishing that chance. Samikas, open goal, blazed across the face, just rash. I'm sorry, Darwin Núñez, strike a ball, bro. If that's Bobby Firmino in that first half, when the ball comes in on his left side, he strokes that in the goal because technique is everything. I'm really worried right now about Darwin Núñez's technique, his first touch, his control. Yes, he's sharp. Yes, he's hungry. Yes, he can hit the ball hard when he connects with it. But I'm worried about how clinical can he be. I'm worried about, has he got that first time touch? Has he got the technique? Has he got that classiness to play in a Liverpool number 9 position? Because if we're all honest with ourselves, Bobby came on today and showed everybody up. If Bobby started from the beginning of this game, Bobby's man of the match. Bobby's probably close to being man of the match anyway. He changed the game. And I know we didn't get the win. I know he didn't get a goal, but he made things happen. We looked more likely when Bobby came on. Anana was everywhere. Ooh, na 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 na. Anana was a beast, bro. Our midfield didn't want to know it. And speaking of midfield, I don't know if it's just me. Is Fabinho getting dribbled past far too often? I know that percentage-wise, you're going to get dribbled past in a game, but for me, it looks too easy. It looks like he's stepping into tackles too soon. He's getting beaten a lot. Damari Gray today, he beat him too many times, in my opinion. Gordon, first to balls. We're lacking that sharpness and decision-making in the tackling. So, yeah. Joey Gomez is being consistent. Joe Gomez has been a lot more consistent. So Mikas will be off next season if this continues. He didn't put a foot wrong and was our most creative player. So Mikas was the one trying to make things happen. Down that left, constantly in the box, taking shots when the ball dropped on the edge of the box. He's positive. This is what we've been looking for in our left back in Robbo. He's positive, but he got shipped off again. I don't know why, because he didn't look troubled in defence. Yes, his decision-making sometimes could be a bit better in attack, but at least he's trying to get balls in. He's trying to get shots on goal. He's positive. This is what we wanted to see. I thought he was one of the more shining lights again as well today. Bobby was class. Bobby and Costas were great. Bobby had an instant impact when he came on. Look, if Salah don't start showing what he can do, then he needs to be dropped. Play Elliott on the right wing. Drop Mo Salah. Play Elliott on the right wing. Play Hendo, Fabinho, and then play a creative player. Try Arthur out. Play Carvalho. Do something. Bobby today, I don't know if he was playing as attacking midfield. I'll have to look back at the analysis and break down the stats. But Bobby, in that position that he was picking up today, that was nice. That was very nice. Connor Cody, rat. Did you see that celebration? Did you see it? Giving it the beans, giving it the big I am against his ex-club. Like he'd supported Everton all his life. Disgraceful, Connor Cody. Disgraceful. Player I'm disappointed with most is Costas. He didn't deliver anything good today. We had such high expectations. I disagree. I thought that he was progressive. I thought the defence, we can't knock our defence. We got a clean sheet. Yes, Alisson came up trumps, but our defence looked a lot sharper today. They're the positives we're going to take away from this game. But let's get to the player ratings because there's so many comments. I can't get to every single comment. But KFI was furious with that celebration as well from Cody. So let's start with the player ratings, starting with the one, the only, Alisson Becker. Alisson Becker. Alisson, give me your ratings in the comments. I'm going to talk to you about how I felt he played today, and then I'll pin your ratings up for Alisson Becker. So, Alisson today was a 9.5, maybe even a 10, because he didn't do one thing wrong. He was unbelievable. He just makes everything look so simple, but he's also got that world-class save in him. So he was commanding the area again. He looked a bit more vocal as well, and I like that. He looked like he was trying to command the back four a little bit more today when I was watching the game. He's always positionally sound, and those saves to save the game, world-class saves. World-class. You can always rely on Alisson Becker's the most consistent player in Liverpool's squad, and that's a fact. The most consistent player. And people might say, yeah, but as a goalkeeper, you don't have to be involved in the game much. No. But concentration-wise, do you realise how hard that is? Sometimes when your team has so much possession, but you stay switched on, that's so difficult to do. James the Brain saying 9.5. Jerry James Show saying 9. Connor Burnett saying 9. Bryant Big Up Marin saying 9. Rizzy 9. Jerry James Show's changed it to 10. He's giving him a 10, you know. No, he's changed it. Latif 9. Bidders 9. Mo 9. Bogdan 9.5. Danny Lake 9.5. 9 for sure. He kept us in the game. He saved us. Said Miles a 9. So many 9s flying in. No cap. So many 9s. So let's move to the back four then. Let's give the back four rating. I think we can agree. I'm going to give Alisson Becker 9.5, though. Let's average it out. Someone give him a 10. There's a lot of 9s. A few 9.5s. 9.5. Let's move on to the back four. Give me your back four ratings for today's game while I break down that back four. If we can take any positives away from today's game, it's the fact that back four wise, we looked a lot more solid. Yes, we were still exposed on the counter-attack. Yes, our wing-backs can still do a little bit more. Give me the individual ratings for the back four players. I want to see what you think about the back four. Trent, again, so sloppy. So sloppy with the passing. Defensively, a little bit more switched on. But again, same as Fabinho, got done up. He got done up so many times. Again, it's easy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if Trent likes to prove he can tackle, so he jumps in. But Gordon, first to the ball, tapping the ball around him, foul. Then you've got Damari Gray, first to the ball, easily dribbling round Trent, round Fabinho. I think Trent's stuck in a place right now. I think he's stuck in a place that, do I get forward and be attacking like I usually am? People are criticising my defending. Do I over-defend? And by that, I mean, everyone was bigging up Trent's clearance, by the way, from Neil Maupay when he got slid in. That wasn't good defending, everyone. That was Trent switched off again, and then he realised that he'd played him onside and had to desperately come across and clear that ball. Trent probably needs a rest. Do you know what I do next game? I play Joe Gomez at right back and I play Matip at centre back because Klopp must be seeing something. Klopp must be seeing something. To bring him off 2 games in a row, that's very unheard of with Trent. Very unheard of. But Joe Gomez is easing his way back into this centre-back role now. I think Gomez is finding himself more comfortable. The pressure's starting to go. You can see him being more relaxed. He's doing more Joe Gomez style things. So, for example, that first touch when the defender's putting him under pressure looked really nice today. It looked a lot better. His recovery pace is so good. He's getting that speed back. I thought he'd lost the pace, but it looks like he's got that speed. Brought the pace back. Recovery speed really good. Physicality really good as well. Maybe jumped into a few too many challenges. Sometimes maybe looked a bit rushed on the ball, but on the whole, Joe Gomez is definitely improving. But let me see what you're all saying in the comments. So many comments, by the way. Big up everybody. Bryant Marine is giving the whole defense a 5. Come on, bro. Clean sheet. You can't give the back four a 5 for a clean sheet. I'm sorry, you just can't. Jota was good. We'll get to Jota in a little bit. Van Dijk was an 8. We've got 7 for the back four. Joey Gomez, 8.5. Samikas, 8. Trent, 5. Trent, 6. Joe, 8. Van Dijk, 7. Costa, 7. I think we're giving Trent too high of a score. This is a bit more like it for me. Trent, 4. Gomez, 5. Virgil, 5. Costa's 4. I give Gomez a higher score than 5. I really do. I think Gomez was around an 8, 7.5, 8, just like this. These scores for me, this is probably the right score. Trent 4, Gomez 8, Van Dijk 6.5, Costa 6.5. I think Van Dijk was a lot better though as well. I thought Van Dijk got forward. I thought Van Dijk was good from crosses in the box. He was winning a lot of headers, by the way, off the corner. But the corners, again, quality-wise, so poor quality-wise. Connor saying, I agree. I think Trent needs a rest. He needs something. Do you know what Trent needs? He needs to. Do you know when you've got like you buy? Do you know when you buy like those squishy kind of toys or pillows or whatever it is, right? And you sit on one side of a pillow for too long, and all the foam goes to one end, like all the sponge inside the pillow goes to one end. That's Trent, right? Someone sat on Trent's legs for too long, and all the foam in Trent has gone to his upper body, and his shoulders are like boss. He's got puffed up shoulders. He's got buffed up arms, right? But the legs have kind of gone. He looks like a Dairy Lee slice. Do you know what I mean? Like a Dairy Lee slice. Trent needs to lose the ball. Trent, you don't need that physicality. I don't know why he's done it. If anything, as a footballer, you maybe add a bit more to your legs, like add a bit more muscle to the legs. There's no need for the upper body strength, I don't feel, for Trent. He's not a centre-back. He's not a central midfield player that might get bullied off the ball. He's someone who can see the whole picture, who doesn't really need to be that physical. If he wants to rely on pace, which is what I think he's trying to go for, because he likes to prove that he can out-sprint people, I think you lose that size. Put some size on the legs. Do some plyometrics training. You need some more power, more explosiveness, because right now, looking like a Dorito, bro. Triangle things and that. You know what I mean? Come on. Trent's injured, apparently. Wouldn't surprise me. It's not like more injuries. It's like, oh, look, Jota comes back. Matip comes back. We're getting these players back, drip feeding. And then all of a sudden, Hendo, you can be injured now. Trent, you come and be injured now. Carvalho, you come and be injured now. Story of our life, bro. Story of our life at Liverpool FC. Welcome to it. Yes, this is true. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Hashtag injury FC. So true. Injury FC. Slow passing, long ball, spam crosses, injury. Kick my own boots when I'm through on goal FC. Yay. But I'm trying to be positive. We're trying to still get behind the team. And I've just said, like I said, clean sheet, take positives from that. Alisson Becker, still world class. Gomez easing his way back into the team. But knows where the criticism is probably going to start coming in. So, midfield 3, people. What you saying? Give me the ratings for the midfield 3. I don't even know what to say. I really do not know what to say about the midfield 3. Fabinho, just doesn't look like Fabinho anymore. He's lost that. You know what I mean? I can't explain it. He's lost that. He's lost the edge, that decisiveness, that sharpness. The decision making is a little bit poor as well. He's coming trying to win balls that he doesn't need to win. He's committing fouls, jumping into tackles. He's not being the street sweeper. Do you know what I mean? He's not being the street sweeper anymore. He's being the litter bug now, leaving bodies all over the field for brash challenges. I don't want to dog Fabinho out. I don't want to say this about my team because I love my team. But I'm sorry, they're giving me no chance right now. You're giving me no opportunity to even praise because I can't praise that midfield today. I really can't. Because Fabinho, we thought you'd be sweeping everything up, allowing Elliott, allowing Carvalho to roam free. Elliott, by the way, I'm sorry, people call me an Elliott hater. What did he do? Fabinho was trying. He was being physical. He was getting stuck in, but what did Elliott do today? That game screamed out for Milner and Hendo. And you know what I think about Milnerson, but that game, this is what we miss when they're not on the field. We miss that intensity, that physicality. Elliott didn't want to jump into tackles, and he's never wanted to. He's never wanted to go in 50-50s ever since his ankle, and I get it. Ever since he broke that ankle, he doesn't want another injury. So that edge that you need as a footballer, if you're playing in midfield, has gone. That willingness to try and win that first ball has gone because he's edging out of challenges, which is when he's more likely to get injured. So, yeah, that's gone. Carvalho's not got that in his game. He's not defensive. So asking him to play in that lower role, like in recent weeks, we've seen Fabinho and Henderson in a double pivot. Today, you could see Fabinho dropping deep a lot, coming too deep for his style of play. We're starting to see now if Carvalho's going to be used in the starting 11, they're going to do what they did to Curtis Jones. They're going to mute that creativity. They're going to make him do duties for the team. They're going to stop him from attacking. It played into Everton's hands. Carvalho coming deep. Carvalho being conservative. Wow. And Nana was like, he was feasting on that shit. Davis, with his little man bun and scraggly hair like the scarecrow out of Wizard of Oz, he was waving in the wind, feeding off that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it hurts me. These are the players that were out playing us. Alex Iwobi, looking like Booker T with the dreads. He was out playing Liverpool in midfield today. Davis, Onana, Idrissa Guy was waltzing around giving it the big I am step overs and the lot when he came on. This shouldn't be happening to Liverpool. So rusty. I'm looking at a comment on Instagram. So rusty. Please, man. I don't know what's happening, but we need some life put back into that team. We need some gusto. We need some grit. We need some, you know what I mean? Some fire. White Teeth FC, says Ellis. So true, man. White Teeth FC. 7 for the midfield, gives Shreyas. That's a big score for the midfield today. 5 for them all, saying Mr. Mohab. Big up everybody in the building, by the way, as well. Please hit that like button because it goes a long way to helping the channel out. Please hit subscribe because we bring you so many different shows across the week. So please hit subscribe. It's madness what goes on here. You'll get at least 2 shows a day. So slap that subscribe button, hit the like button, and get in the comments because we try to pin as much as we can. These ratings, pretty accurate for me. Fabio 3, Elliott 4, Fabinho 4. Those are pretty accurate for me because Fabinho, like I've just said, it was just poor. It was just poor. There's nothing more I can say about it. 5, 4.5, 3, 5. 2 for Fabinho, says LFC DN27. Woo! You cold, boy. I like you, LFC DN27. You cold. You so cold. Fabinho needs the support from people like Thiago and Hendo. Yes, he does. But at the same time, the bro's a defensive midfielder. And you're getting beat on dribbles. So it's one thing saying he needs support. But come on, sometimes you got to be able to fly solo. You're a footballer. You should be able to defend if you're a defensive midfield player. Carvalho 354, Elliot 4.5 says, Miles, big up yourself. Is it just me? Or was Harvey playing too wide for CM? This is a great point. For those of you that didn't watch our statistics show before this one, go back and watch it after this show because we highlighted this. Harvey Elliott this season is picking up the widest role of the midfielders. He's picking up a right-sided role. So he's finding himself drifting out to the right because Mo Salah is coming way too central at the minute. Instead of Salah holding his run and coming from out to in, Salah's starting inside. So he's making it easy for the centre-back, for the left-back. So Elliott is trying to drift and get that space. Now, who's picking up that spot that Elliott plays in? It's been Bobby Firmino in recent weeks, dropping into that central attacking midfield role. And we have seen a 4-2-3-1, the way we've been setting up in recent weeks with a double pivot of Hendo and Fabinho. Today, it was more of the same, but it was confusion up top. And we'll get to that in a minute because Núñez was getting in Salah's spaces. Diaz was getting in Núñez's spaces. Elliott was getting in Salah's spaces. Salah was getting in Diaz. It was just like confusion. It was spaghetti junction up at the top. Do you know what I mean? It was that. Do I cross the road? Do I not? Zebra crossing, is a light on red? Is it yellow? They didn't know. There's no cohesion up at the top, which is what we have seen in recent weeks with Bobby Diaz and Salah. There's a lot more fluidity. But this is why I worry about Núñez, because where's he going to fit in? I don't think he brings that fluidity to the team. Everyone's just trying to play long balls to him. And for me, I don't like that. I don't want to go back to Sam Allardyce tactics. I don't want to do it. More ratings flying in. Klopp should never have played Núñez. What did we just say? Klopp should never have played Núñez. Cha-ching. I've given you a golden ticket for that one, Mr. Sean Dock. You shouldn't have. Bobby came on and did it. Núñez shouldn't have been on in that game. He just didn't look at it. As soon as he's seen in the first half, he didn't look at it. He should have been off the field. 100%. Look at this, please. This is where Liverpool fans now channel that energy. In fact, we need to all do it together. Liverpool fans, together. Bring that energy into a ball for Thiago. Please, have we ever missed a midfielder as much as this guy? We need Thiago right now, and I'll tell you exactly why. There is no pace. There is no pace. There is no change in pace. There is no fluidity to our midfield and link-up play. What Thiago does so well is he can slow the game down if he wants to. Because at points, you need to slow games down. That's a fact. At points, you have to slow games down. Thiago can do that. But what Thiago does so well, he knows when to spark life into the game. He knows when to play a first-time pass. He knows which direction the pass is going in to create more space. Thiago's intellect is exactly what we're missing because Elliott doesn't bring that. Carvalho, at the minute, he doesn't bring that. He doesn't bring that Thiago swag. This is why maybe should we have seen Arthur today? And I know it's too soon, but should we have? Because he's the closest player probably now that we've got to Thiago. We're missing that so much. Fabinho can't do it. He can't do it. Thiago's the guy. Oh, are we missing Thiago Alcantara? Oh, my goodness. Let me see what everybody else is saying about Thiago, what you're saying about everything. There's so many comments. Appreciate this. Salah's not played well. People saying we're going to get onto that in a minute. Liverpool have been outrun in every single match this season. That just says it all, doesn't it? Outrun, outmuscled, out-hustled, out-fought, out-smarted. Everything. We've been out-outed this season because people aren't scared of us anymore. People know you can get points now. People come to Anfield now and go, all right, yeah, I'll bring my Lilo too. Might bring a little sangria on the side. Like, people, we need to realize that, unfortunately, we aren't good enough to win the Premier League this season. We're living in hope that we can do a cup run. That's not what I wanted for my club. That's not what we need for our club. We need our club to want to win. And it all goes down to, there's two things. I was going to say one thing, but there is two things. It goes down to FSG not supporting the cause, £8.41 million net profit. 8.41 million spent on players this summer. That's how much they've invested in this squad. 8.41 million. Let that sink in. Yes, we've bought Nunes. Yes, but we've got a lot of money in, and they have invested 8.4 million of their own money. That is disgraceful. For a club that won the quadruple last season, that is disgraceful. I'm sorry, but there's no other word for it. And secondly, Klopp, the ineptitude to adapt tactics, changing it it's like the players don't know what they're playing. If you're going to play the way you played, 4-3-3, then stick with it. Go with it. Roll with that. But we've changed to a double pivot in 2 games. Today, we went back to a single pivot in Fabinho with 2 ahead of him in Elliott and Carvalho. But then halfway through the game, we went to a 2-man midfield. Harvey Elliott, by the way, as a 2-man central midfield. That is poor tactics. So poor. Harvey Elliott should not be asked, and I feel sorry for him today. He should never be asked to play in a 2-man midfield alongside Fabinho. He should never be asked. That was poor for me. When I saw Milner coming off the bench, I thought, okay, Milner's going to bring this drive to midfield. Harvey Elliott's going to get a bit more freedom. I'd have shipped Nunes off. Get Bobby on, and then get Milner on in midfield. Keep Trent on, because I'm sorry, there's no right back to come on and make things happen. Milner's not a right back that's going to make things happen. Maybe he shows up defence, but did you see Anthony Gordon when James Milner come on at right back? Oh, it was like me. I was going to say Thanksgiving, but I've never had a Thanksgiving in my life. But if there was a Thanksgiving, that would be me. Like, that was Anthony Gordon. Do you know when you see that like lioness in the bush, like this, and then James Milner, the deer, comes on, loving life. He's like, yeah. He's like that aged meat. You know when you age that meat, because James Milner's that fine meat. He's like that fine wine. It's been soaked in that red wine. It's got the herbs on it. It's been aging for years. That's some tasty meat right there. And Gordon's there, the young lioness. Like, as soon as Milner came on, woo, boy, Gordon was feasting. Gordon was feasting. Talk about prey and predator. Wow. You don't do that to Milner. Don't do it to James Milner ever again, Klopp. Because that was... Milner's going home tonight like he'd just been the play centre of his children, chasing him around for about 2 hours. Come on, bro. You can't do that to Jimmy Milner. You just can't do it. People saying Salah's not played well. There's no fluidity in our game. Where's the hunger? That's it. I just showed you, like, that Gordon had that hunger. He was feasting. It's like a jigsaw puzzle has come undone and we're looking for the missing pieces again. It's so true. At this point, I don't even know what to expect against Napoli. Look, we're going away to the home of possibly the greatest footballer of all time, with fans who live for the football. We're not getting nothing from that game. I'm telling you now, if we play the way we've been playing, we're getting nothing from that game. We're going to have to turn into one of those teams that adopts a back five, parks the bus, and hopes for a draw and to win on a counter-attack. That's how it's becoming now. Because we aren't a team that can stroke this ball around. We're not a team that can control possession, then strike. All our chances are coming from individual brilliance or errors from the opposition. It's either coming from deflected ball where someone tries to dribble, the ball bounces around a few times and it pops out. Maybe it comes from our wing backs getting forward every now and then, corners, and a bit of Diaz brilliance, a bit of magic around the box. Apart from that, tell me where chances are coming from. Because even when Thiago's back in the team, he's not someone that's going to get us assists. We're looking at Mo Salah for assists. I'm sorry, Casper was nowhere to be seen today. Nowhere to be seen. To be fair, says Realism Jared, FSG today was all Klopp's fault. Yeah. His subs changed the game to our detriment. Should have switched Gomez to right back, put Matip centre back, left Samikas on, and brought Mello on for Elliott. Everything you just said there, Realism Jared, I completely agree. The only thing I might have done is maybe not Mello, or maybe both. Maybe not Mello. I'd have brought Milner on, and Bobby did change the game. I needed Bobby for Nunes. I think we missed that. We missed someone who had that intensity today in midfield. Mello's not the type of person that's going to bring that derby swag. Milner would have in midfield, but definitely not a right back. So bad. I think you mentioned this in previous shows, says Robert. I think a midfield with both Carvalho and Elliott won't work. It just doesn't work. Purely for the fact they like to pick up similar spaces. I know they're on opposite sides, but you cannot have a three-man midfield with two central attacking midfielders because poor Fabinho, like everyone was saying before, some of the memes before the game, by the way, were hilarious, but poor Fabinho, he's left like Stretch Armstrong in it. He's trying to drag them back. He's like, but in fairness to them, today you could see that they felt responsibility, and that's why we didn't play our best. Because Elliott was like, do I need to come back? Do I need to just protect Fabinho a bit? Carvalho was dropping way too deep. So it doesn't work in that aspect. We have to play a double pivot on one of them. It's that simple. Maybe Carvalho just becomes a replacement. Maybe they rotate in that 10. They can't play together. Unless we play a box formation where it's 4 double pivot, 2 attacking midfielders and 2 strikers, we can't play Carvalho and Elliott together because it just doesn't work. Napoli will ruin us. Sorry, run. I can't read today, Mr. James May. Napoli will ruin us if we play like that. Napoli are going to eat us up. So true. We need warriors in midfield. People who aren't afraid to attack those 50-50 balls. What have we just said, Cave? I know. It's killing me inside. Derby day as well. Do you realize I was on a stream before this and I got goosebumps when I saw the lineup? I was like, yeah, we're coming at it today. We're coming out for the derby day. We're going to try and fill our boots. We're going to show Everton who's the boss. Everton showed us who was the boss today. If anything, I looked at that game. Yes, we dominated the last part of the game, which gives us this false sense of, oh, we were really good. We weren't. We were really poor. Everton were much better than us. They were so much hungrier than us. They controlled possession a lot better than we did. We had more possession, but they utilized their possession so much better than we did. The stats will prove that when they come out. So come back and watch, statistically speaking, this week, because I'm telling you now, you're going to have a shock. Liverpool, not good enough. Not good enough. Then we're both in agreement. What are we on about here, Realism, Jared and Sean Doc? I'm not thanking them for our success. I'm saying today is not their fault, but as a whole, they have the blame. And Klopp must also be held accountable. So true. And that's when Sean Doc says you're in agreement. I agree with that. We can't blame FSG on match days. We can't. Because ask yourselves this, as fans now, all of you ask yourselves this. That lineup today, when you saw it, did you get excited and think, wow, we could dominate this game? We could come out of this game 3-4-0 winners. We all did. We all did. But guess what? That didn't happen. Because the players and the management, Klopp, Linders, whoever you want to blame, they didn't have the solutions on the day. So it is what it is till it isn't. We can't just keep blaming FSG because questions need to be asked of this squad, this management, this team. Okay, so here's the thing saying, Sean, that you can't thank FSG for our success if you can't blame them for their losses and draws and lack of success. You can question their commitment and their investment. This is so true. 100% true, Sean. We've got to question what FSG are doing. We have to question what Klopp is doing. And we have to question what the players are doing. Because can we just pin the blame on Klopp and his system today? No. Because the players didn't look like they had that desire. The players that did look like they had that desire, a la Joe Gomez, a la Virgil van Dijk, a la Bobby Firmino, they played well. They made a difference in the game because they had that desire. The players that didn't have that desire, they were poor. All you need in this derby game, match them for physicality, and then your class shows. But we let their physicality in the crowd, Goodison Park, overpower us. So we got done. We got run off the pitch. Like, that's how simple it is. And it's frustrating because we have the quality in that squad, but it can't just be an FSG problem. It can't just be a Klopp problem. It can't just be a player problem. It's got to be a collective problem. Everyone has to look themselves in the mirror because we're all being honest. We all love you as fans. We love the club. We love the players. We love you. But it's not good enough for a team that should have got the quadruple last season. Or I say should have. That's harsh. Not should have, but we're so close to doing it. A team that have been so close, the closest ever to getting a quadruple, should be coming back this year and going, yeah, you think we were close last year? Watch us this year because we don't get it. That's what we're used to seeing from Liverpool. But now we're seeing like wounded soldiers, players that have been overused because of a lack of a backing from FSG, players played in the wrong positions because Klopp doesn't have the tools to be able to utilize players in the correct positions. It's all a snowball effect from top all the way down. People are reacting to situations at the club and it's reflecting on the field. That's exactly what is happening. And it kills me, it hurts me, but that's exactly what is happening. But let's move on anyway to the ratings of the forwards. I want to get to the ratings of the forwards. So, front three ratings, get them in there now. This is the last area of the field. Then we'll give the team an overall rating, and then I'll let you get on with your lovely jolly days. Yes, I will. Front three, let me talk about them. Fact, Nunes shouldn't have started. None of us asked for Nunes to start, if we're honest. It was exciting to see him in the team because we thought, okay, Klopp's coming with some intent today. Every Liverpool fan that I know wanted Bobby Firmino to start. Every Liverpool fan I know. Because Derby Day, we didn't want Nunes to lose his head. Firmino's been in great form. So every Liverpool fan I know wanted Firmino to start. So that's mistake number one. Number two, Diaz wasn't as effective today, but he still pulled out a level of performance that I'm happy with. I can handle that level of performance if there's other players around him that are being clinical. So Diaz wasn't really an issue for me today. It's what I expect from Diaz. Lots of cutting inside, lots of trying to make things happen, work rate, few chances on goal, shots. I'm happy with that. The player I'm really not happy with at the minute, and I love this guy, I think he's a Liverpool legend, could go down as one of our greatest. But Mo Salah is still the same Mo Salah from coming back from AFCON. Everyone said the wages, once he sorts his wages, he'll change. Give him 400k a week. Go back however long you want to. Go back to 2 weeks after AFCON. And Mr. James the Brain's in the comments, so he'll back me on this. What did I say? I said Mo Salah has got the Torres effect. When Torres came back from injury, and I know it's not an injury, but it's AFCON, it's a serious blow to his mental state. It's a serious blow to his ego. Coming back from AFCON, losing the final, losing again to the same team in World Cup qualification. His country means so much to him. That was a big blow. Then trying to come back into a Liverpool team who's a high standard after playing with a poor Egyptian team who is not of a good standard, it's levels. And he's not got back to those levels. We're seeing that Fernando Torres effect just before Torres went to Chelsea, where his form it's gone. He's not the Mo Salah that we all know anymore. He's not Mo Salah that's going to beat 5 Manchester City players. It's not. The contract talks have got to his head. Everything else has got to his head. And it's not the same Mo Salah. Stats might be, which is a good thing. Maybe we like assists. Maybe he'll start getting the goals again. But this isn't the same Mo Salah that everybody wants to see. So until Mo starts scoring goals, questions need to be asked. And I hate to say it again. Let me reiterate. I hate to be saying this about players that I love with the bottom of my heart. Like, I love them. But we need to be truthful. We need to be honest. Mo Salah, if you want 350k a week, you have to be the best player on the field for at least 80% of the season. And right now, you're in the bottom 20% of players on the field. I'm sorry, you just are. It's ghost tactics. Casper, like I said, I'm going to keep calling you Casper until something changes. Sean Dock, yeah, I agree. Contract talks, they didn't help Salah. Did not help him for 1 second. Let's take a look at some of the ratings then. 5 for Diaz, 4 for Salah, 4 for Nunes. I'll be honest with you, Nunes was worse than Salah today as well, by the way. But I expect more from Salah. I don't know what I expect from Nunes yet, but I expect more from Mo. 100%. Diaz, 6.5. I can mess with that. 6.5 Diaz, 3 Nunes, 3 Salah. Completely agree. 2 Salah, says Mr. Designer. Wow. Nunes, 3.5 max. Latif, yep, all the intensity went in the book. All were left with his words in a book. Do you know what, right? I agree with you in this situation that the book was just a distasteful thing. Liverpool aren't playing well. Nobody cares about an assistant manager's words. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a coach on the field. Bring out your memoirs at the end of your career. Not while you're still at Liverpool Football Club trying to coach our team. I don't want our opposition getting a free look at tactics. I'm sorry. I don't want them getting a free look at your philosophy. I don't like it. It's a distasteful thing. It's not a nice thing to be doing and then trying to endorse it on Liverpool's page. It's not a good thing. Pep Linders should be ashamed at that. But we can't blame a book for our performances. We can't. We've got to blame these physical elements, these people who are getting on the field every week. That's what we've got to blame. We can't be blaming a book, as distasteful as it is, as stupid as it is, as naive as it is. We've got to start blaming the players. Thank you, Mr. James the Brain. Facts. Straight up facts. 511, says James. He ain't coming for no mercy today. I can't argue. Because, yeah, 1 might be harsh for Salah, but what did he do? He turned up for 3 minutes at the end? What did he do? Like, literally. More ratings. I'm going to pop them up on screen so you can have a look at them. I'm going to pop your rating up. It's poor by their standards. We expect more from them. We expect so much more. Hope Trent doesn't go with England and Salah. When the World Cup starts, we'll get his rest and we'll become Salah again. Let's live in hope. Let's live in hope. Wow, Ivan Toney's just scored a banging free kick against Leeds. Look, this ain't Ivan Toney territory. We don't need to know that. Nunes is not that good enough. Ilias has just said it, right? Do we need to have this conversation? I watched Nunes. I watched him at Benfica. I didn't watch him a lot, but I watched him more than just the Champions League games because I rated him as a player. When Liverpool signed him, said, we've got a player on our hands. Someone who's going to get goals, someone who is going to press those front players, someone who's hungry, someone who's got that desire like all the South Americans that joined Liverpool. That's what we bought. Someone who's clinical, by the way. He was so clinical at Benfica. Since he's come to Liverpool, and mark my words, and you can ask all the podcasters this because all the podcasters said this as well. Darwin Núñez's biggest flaw is his attitude. One, he may think he's better than he is. And two, he's too hot-headed. We said he'd be a perfect fit for Manchester United. He's come to Liverpool. He'll get goals. He really will. He'll get goals. But the problem is, I don't know if he's going to benefit Liverpool's all-round play. That's the conundrum that I'm stuck in right now. Liverpool don't play a way that suits Darwin Núñez's style of football. This is why when he came, I was excited thinking Liverpool were going to play a different style of football. We've not. We've kept the same style. Núñez has kept the same style he had at Benfica, trying to run in behind, trying to run the channels. There is no point in running behind when the opposition back four sit on the 18-yard box. There is no point for Trent to play balls around the back when the opposition are sitting on the 18-yard box. Núñez either needs to change his game and have a word with Bobby Firmino to see if he can develop that first touch, to see if he can come short sometimes, to see if he can bring the opposition out. Or Liverpool need to adapt their game to suit the way that Núñez plays. But right now, it's a comedy of errors up top. Like Ilias is saying, long ball FC. We're devoid of any creativity. We're devoid of creating anything meaningful up top. It's always a mistake or a piece of individual brilliance. We should be able to conduct chances with the players we've got on the field. But right now, it's like a team of 11 individuals. And that's the complete opposite to what Liverpool have been for the last 4 or 5 years. We've been a team of well-coached players achieving maximum potential. But right now, we're a team of players that have reached maximum potential playing individual games. And that's how you can see you soon become unstuck in football once you start playing that way. 350k a week made him more lethargic, made him no longer hungry for more. That's what Mr. Designer is saying. Someone who loves Mo Salah. Mo Salah's a national treasure for Mr. Designer. And he's saying that. Wow. Ellis saying, we bought Núñez at the wrong time. I think he should have got another season at Benfica. This is a nice point. But then another season at Benfica, if he hits the ground running, he's flying, we're paying like 120 million. Do you know what I mean? So we tried to get him at the right point, but I do feel like I'm undecided. Sorry, not undecided. I'm undecided on what Núñez's future is going to hold. I'm very undecided. KZ for days. Look, I can't argue with this. Our manager isn't good enough. He's not good enough either. That's what he's saying. Is he? He's great at motivating players. He's great in press conferences. He's great at giving hugs, let's be honest. He's great at fist pumps, like unbelievable at fist pump. He's great at smiling. Got a great smile. Great at complaining to fourth officials. Fantastic at that. Is a great manager. He's got us to where we needed to be at the time. But the question is he the manager that can take us to the next level? Has he become stuck in limbo now where what options does he have? Does he know how to adapt our play? Does he know how to fit the correct players into the correct system? Does he rely too much on loyalty? These are big questions that we need to ask now of Klopp, because it's okay coming out after the game and going, "Wow, yeah, whoa, Jordan Pickford, sensational." One of those days. One of those days. Oh, the grass so dry, so dry. Do you know what I mean? There's only so many times now we can hear this. Yes, Pickford had a sensational game, but we weren't clinical enough. Nunes wasn't clinical enough. Pickford made sensational saves on saves that gave him an opportunity to save them. But there were shots in that game that went wide, that hit the post, that should have gone in the back of the net from our attackers. So it's just that simple. It really is. Who said that Klopp isn't good enough? Are you becoming doubters? Look, we turn from doubters to believers. This season, in summer, everyone was a believer. Look at the parade, man. I was there. It was electric. That was a parade full of believers because Klopp made us believe. But this team this season are turning us from believers to doubters. That's a fact. We're turning from believers to doubters because what logic is there in actually believing that we can get a title this season? There's nothing there to suggest that. There's no depth there. The injuries just keep happening. So something is clearly going wrong behind the scenes. Players looking like they're lacking confidence. Mo Salah being a ghost. Nunes not being able to fit in the team. We've got rid of a player that gelled us together in Sadio Mane. It's worrying. So worrying. But each week we come to a new game and we're trying to be positive for the team's sake. Today I was so positive. I felt like it was a derby day. I was so up for it. And then I was watching the game going, this is the same old Liverpool. Slow passing. No movement. Not hungry. Like, we're saying the same things now every week. So it can't be us being negative. The team are making us feel that way by performances on the pitch. It was like we were playing beach volleyball in their box. So true. Latif, I don't know if it's just me or does Klopp look more emotional lately on the sidelines. He looks much more frustrated in the past few matches. He is frustrated. Would you not be? Would you not feel a bit frustrated if you maybe... His job's not under pressure, I suppose, but people are going to ask questions. I'd be frustrated. Why is he frustrated? Because he knows he doesn't know the answer to the problem. He can't find a solution to teams that are solid and set up correctly against us. Let's be honest, we should have drew or maybe lost against Newcastle. It took fortune in the last minute for us to win that game. The game before, we played the worst team probably in Premier League history. Like, we played the worst team in the Premier League on a very bad day for them. The manager literally got sacked after we played them. That's how bad it was. So that's the only positive we've had this season. I just don't know what to say. Apart from this, we're not winning Premier League. We're not winning a Premier League playing like this. It's as simple as that sentence. James the Brain, I said we would live to regret losing Sadio. I don't want to think about it anymore because we've got to think about who's in front of us. Do you know what I mean? But it shows there was no plan because you can't watch Nunes. If you're a scout, right? Maybe Diaz was the Mane replacement. Maybe he was. But if you look at it off this, Diaz, Mane, and Salah in the team, couldn't get us the goal we needed in a cup final. So taking Sadio out of the team, you're replacing him with Nunes, who is his replacement, because that's how it is. So how can you look at Nunes and Sadio Mane and think you're going to get the same or better results? You can't do that, because Sadio is just a different beast to Nunes. So the worrying part is not all Sadio come back, I miss you. The worrying part is that clearly our department, whoever scouts, whoever's looking at these players, either one, didn't have a plan, or two, can't see that these players are completely different. I don't know. Hearing the same thing in the changing room over and over again, don't you think it doesn't motivate the players anymore? Yeah, probably. I don't know what they're saying in the changing room. Like, we don't know what they're saying, but it's not good enough. You can see, look, deflated. Jedi in the building saying there's no chance for the title fight for top four and go for the Champions League. Like, let's go for it. Let's try and get a Champions League this season, because I need some excitement. Our style of football suits European sides, so let's go for that. Let's not give up on the Premier League. I'm not saying give up, but if Man City win today, they're 7 points clear. If Arsenal win, they're 9 points clear. They're big. That's a massive deficit, especially to City at this point after just so many games. That's not good. It's not good at all. Anyway, before we leave, I want you all to tell me your player of the game. Who was your player of the game today? I'm going to tell you mine. I'm going to tell you why. So let me know your players of the game before we end the show today. It's been a great show, by the way. I enjoy coming on here and just having a chat with like-minded Liverpool fans, telling you what I think, listening to your opinion. It's been great getting involved with you all today. But as always, we have to round up the show. So who was your player of the game for today? Allison saying Latif. Pickford saying Ellis. Pickford, Bogdan, Allison. It's mad, isn't it, that he's both goalkeepers. Pickford. I knew Jerry James would pick Pickford because of the comments you made this week. Pickford on his best day is better than Allison on his best day. Don't you? But you raise a good point, because Pickford was good today. Pickford was very, very good today. Allison saying Bryant. Goalkeepers, depending on which side we're talking. So true. We are not going to overhaul the squad. We're not. We're not going to change anything. We're not going to overhaul the squad. We're going to use what we've got. Next summer, people, let me tell you this now. If we've still got FSG and we've still got Klopp, or if Linders is taken over from Klopp, heaven forbid he does. But if that's the situation next summer, we're not overhauling anything. We're losing players and bringing less players in. So we need to understand that right now. We need to understand right now what it takes is a miracle on the training field, a change in system or something to get Liverpool back to the way they were, because nothing else from higher above is going to change. So we need to realise that right now. Alisson Becker, Pickford was the player of the game, but for us, Bobby, after he came on, Bidders, I loved Bobby when he came on. I think he was sensational when he came on the field. He tried to do it. He tried to make things happen. I thought Gomez, but he was a bit rash with some of the clearances. Yeah, this is what I thought, Jedi. Great comment. Gomez was a little bit rash at times. He made a few errors, but on the whole, he's improving game by game. He's getting his match fitness back. He's getting his sharpness back. He's looking like Joe Gomez of old. So I'd rest Van Dijk and give Gomez another run out in midweek. Play Matip, play Gomez, maybe even play Milner at right back, like, because Trent, come on. Bobby brought a legitimate spark, though. If we scored, Bobby hands down player of the match. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Isn't it, Brian? If we scored, if FSG would have bought this, if Klopp would have done that. But I know what you're saying. Bobby did bring his spark back onto the field. Showed the panic in the defence. So true. Oh, he's brought the capital letters out for this one, Mr. Jerry James. We are not overhauling the squad, as FSG won't spend. Our system won't change, and we've been ran out. We've been outran in every game. I can't disagree. 100% right from JJ. We're not overhauling the squad. FSG aren't spending. Our system's not going to change. And other teams are showing more desire. We class ourselves as this team that runs every day. Run. I ain't seeing no running. I tell you what I am seeing. I'm seeing Trent walk back. I'm seeing Fabinho look tired and stick a leg out. I'm seeing Virgil van Dijk strands of hair popping out. Like, we look messy right now. We're looking messy, and I'm not talking about the greatest of all time. I'm talking teenager's bedroom messy. Do you know what I mean? I feel like Bellingham will be our next Chouameni, next Miles. I can't read that. Bellingham ain't coming, bro. He ain't coming. And if he does, I'll apologise to you, but he's not coming. Unless we have a disaster class of a season and there's no option, he's not coming. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a great show. We'll bring it to you every single time. Match Rater, Virgil van Dijk looking angry as I feel angry inside. But Liverpool, again, dropping 2 points, a Merseyside derby that just didn't live up to Liverpool expectations, out-hustled, outran, out-fought, and out-saved by Jordan Pickford. Today, we saw what we've seen all season. Liverpool just aren't up to scratch. And on that note, you'll never walk alone. Peace!